In Osun State, southwest Nigeria, the time for politics is over, and now is the time for governance. The immediate past governor of the state, Adegboyega Oyetola, has accepted the ruling of the Supreme Court, which upheld the election of Senator Ademola Adeleke as governor. He congratulated Governor Adeleke and urged him to focus on good governance. Oyetola also urged the All Progressive Congress, APC, in the state to accept the court verdict. The president-elect Bola Tinubu has also congratulated Governor Adeleke for his victory, asking him to settle down and serve the people. The president-elect, that's like a endorsement, and
that's a very fatherly, very dignified.
He's a president to all, not a president of
course.
Well, All Progressive Congress.
Don't forget, in Osun, he lost the election narrowly in Osun, which means that he has tremendous support there. So it's a very narrow victory for Atiku in Osun State. So he's already behaving like the father of all. The father of all. You can see that President
to work with Adeleke, Governor Adeleke
too has been doing that. Yes. He congratulated him. When we go to court, we must be ready for anything. Anything could happen. It could go your way, it could go the way of your opponent.
And this is not an opportunity to impugn the integrity of the court.
No,
because it doesn't. Because it's not your way.
Now, the same.
It's not go your way today.
The same people who are abusing the judiciary and calling it names. When Adeleke lost at the tribunal, State Election Petitions Tribunal, those who spoke dismissively of the judiciary, today they are quiet.
Yes, judiciary now is now the hope of the common man.
One day to go against you, another day to go in your favor. That's the way it is. And the truth about the Nigerian judiciary, especially the Supreme Court, is that there is overwhelming evidence that in most of the time, they are on the side of the people. Most of the time. When Obasanjo elevated impunity to dizzying heights in 2007, what did they do? They made Amici,
yes.
Governor. He did not ask to be made governor.
Yes.
He said, the nomination candidate of the party.
Yes.
And they did not just do that. They then said, go and swear him in.
If you remember,
said they did that to teach a lesson that impunity does not pay.
He said the nomination has K-leg. Obasanjo said Amici's nomination has K-leg, and Supreme Court now went
and strengthened the K-leg.
You know, so this is the thing. The Supreme Court has come up with this judgment. There are lessons to learn. Even me, when I was reading the judgment, I said, so in future I know a judge will not fail to write a judgment. Whether you are concurring with the lead
write it out.
Judge or not, write your own findings, your own conclusions. Put it in writing,
to be a reference,
not just to sign. They said for that reason alone, it rendered that judgment a nullity. And there were other reasons that they gave, like the forensic analyst introduced himself in a manner that suggested that he was close to the APC. And they said, no, for the fact that he was close to the APC, his findings can never be objective. That's another lesson, that in future when you want to go for this kind of thing, you want to do forensic analysis and you want the result to be accepted, you've got to find someone who is neutral. So Oyetola has lost, but there are lessons that we can pick up from this. And he's down, but he's not out. We've seen people lost and came back.
Tinubu described him, the president-elect described Oyetola as somebody that did not soil his name, that did not impugn his name
which is
in 4 years of his governorship. While congratulating Ademola Adeleke, he said Oyetola gave a good account of himself.
When you look at,
his 4
years in office, he did reasonably well. There's no doubt about that. And I want to also commend him for congratulating Governor Adeleke, because Yes, it's within your rights to go to court. It is part of the process. If you don't agree with whatever verdict, you understand, the umpire came up with, you have every right to go to court, up to the Supreme Court. But when you get to the Supreme Court and there is judgment, as a statesman, it is good for you to move on. So by congratulating Governor Adeleke, that is very good, because it is also send messages to the court, to the supporters, to say, look, this is not a do or die matter.
You submitted your this into the
court, and the court has adjudged that Governor Adeleke was duly elected. And in the interest of Osun State, it's good for everybody to move forward.
It's the highest court in the land.
And it also shows that, in fairness, Governor Adeleke shows how popular Governor Adeleke is with his people. 4 years ago, he lost on technical grounds because of the rerun. This time, he won again. And during the presidential election, he was able to also deliver that state to the
PDP.
presidential candidate of his party. So there's no doubt that he's a very popular politician in his state. And I want to congratulate him.
His family is very popular.
Yes.
So,
Family is popular.
wish them the best of luck, especially Governor Adeleke. We need a lot of that luck and God's knowledge
doesn't have a lot of money
to govern Osun State.
He has to prove people wrong, because people see him as just a dancing machine. So he has to show them.
But when you look at his 100 days, he has done reasonably well in his 100 days.
Do so much for the people beyond just seizing at every opportunity to dance.
Because
Osun State is in financial.
Yes, they don't. It's one of the
the country.
One of the states that doesn't really have enough.
So you need to.
So you have to.
Heavily indebted.
So you have to be creative to be able to govern that state.
You have to be creative.
You have to be creative
to keep
be able
the state
to get the money
afloat.
To get the state. But I think so far he has done reasonably well in his first 100 days.
All right, we'll take this breather. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still Journalist Hangouts. We'll be right back